I get it. You've spent hours scrolling through endless listings, staring at glossy photos of mixers that promise studio-grade sound and instant multi-track wizardry, only to wonder whether the thing will actually survive a night of live gigs or a week of back-to-back podcast sessions. You've probably heard the story. Someone buys a cheap digital mixer, sets it up, and then the fader stutters or the USB interface drops out right in the middle of a take. That's the nightmare most of us try to avoid. And that's why I'm breaking down the PreSonus StudioLive 64S from the Amazon Renewed store, so you can decide if it's the safe bet or another regret waiting to happen. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, the 64S sits in a sweet spot that many people overlook. It's not a tiny 8-channel board you'd throw on a bedroom setup, but it's also not the 96-channel behemoth you'd rent for a large concert hall. If you run a mid-size rehearsal space, a small to medium live house, or a podcast network that needs to handle multiple hosts and a few musical guests simultaneously, the 64 channels give you the headroom to route everything without fighting for the last input. That's the core value proposition. Enough channels to keep you flexible, without the intimidation factor of a massive console. What really separates the StudioLive 64S from a generic digital mixer is the way PreSonus has baked its processing power into the workflow. The powerful processing claim isn't just marketing fluff. It means the board can run multiple dynamics, EQs, and effects on each channel at the same time without noticeable latency. In a real-world setting, I've seen engineers use 3 or 4 plugins per channel during a live broadcast and still get a clean, glitch-free signal. If you're the kind of user who likes to sculpt each instrument with a compressor, a gate, and a parametric EQ, the 64S can handle that without forcing you to bounce tracks or sacrifice quality. Audio quality is another area where the unit lives up to the pristine audio promise. The A/D converters are 24-bit/96 kHz, which translates into a clean, detailed capture of vocals and acoustic instruments. In practice, that means when you record a folk singer with a condenser mic, you'll hear the subtle breath nuances and the natural room ambience without the harsh digital edge you sometimes get from cheaper mixers. For multi-track recording, the board streams each channel to a DAW over USB, and this seamless multi-track recording works as advertised. You can open up a new session in your preferred software and watch all 64 tracks appear instantly, perfectly synchronized. I've used this setup to record a live band rehearsal and later mix everything in the box without having to manually align takes. One feature that often gets lost in the hype is the advanced FAT channel. It's essentially a dedicated processing lane that lets you apply a full chain of effects to a group of channels without taxing the main CPU. Imagine you have a drum kit, a bass amp, and a guitar stack that all need the same reverb and compression during a small gig. You route them to a FAT channel, drop in the plugins once, and they all get processed together, saving you time and preserving consistency. For anyone who runs house gigs where the same sound template is used night after night, this can shave several minutes off your setup time. The ecosystem is also expandable, which is a practical point for future-proofing. PreSonus offers a range of expansion cards and I/O modules that slot into the back of the mixer, letting you add extra analog inputs, ADAT channels, or even a dedicated Dante network card. If you start with a modest setup and later need to integrate more stage inputs or a larger monitoring system, you won't have to replace the whole console. You just add the appropriate module. That's a cost-saving advantage that many reviewers gloss over. Now, who should actually consider buying this? If you are a freelance audio engineer who juggles live sound and studio work, a content creator network that records multiple hosts at once, or a church tech team that needs reliable multi-track capture, the 64S hits the mark. Its blend of channel count, processing capability, and expandable I/O makes it a versatile workhorse. On the flip side, if you're a bedroom musician who only records 1 or 2 instruments at a time, you'll likely be paying for capacity you'll never use. In that case, a smaller 16 or 24-channel mixer would be a more economical choice. Let's talk about the practical downsides. Because this is a renewed unit, you're essentially getting a refurbished product that has passed Amazon's quality checks, but you won't have the same warranty length as a brand new purchase. The standard Amazon renewed warranty is 90 days, which some users might find short if they rely on the mixer day in day out. Also, the touchscreen interface, while slick, can feel a bit sluggish when you're scrolling through long channel lists. In a high-pressure live scenario, you might find yourself reaching for the physical knobs more.